Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some major updates, and trust me, you'll want to stay locked in because there's a lot unfolding regarding Iraq's financial landscape and the possible global implications. Let's get straight into what's happening in Iraq and why it could signal a major shift for both the nation and the world. To start, Frank 26 has raised an intriguing point that deserves attention. He poses a crucial question: if you were on the board of BP British Petroleum and about to finalize a huge oil agreement with Iraq, would you go ahead with it before February 1st? Frank emphasizes that BP has not entered into any deals of this magnitude with Iraq in the past 2 or 3 decades. So why now? That's a valid point, right? It seems BP is holding back, and this delay could be significant. Frank suggests that this hesitation might be linked to an upcoming shift in Iraq's exchange rate. Essentially, BP may be waiting for a new rate to be established before committing. If February 1st passes and BP still hasn't signed, Frank believes that's an indication that a revaluation is imminent. It's as if BP is awaiting a confirmation signal before making its move. Should the exchange rate change before February, Frank firmly believes the deal will be sealed immediately, reinforcing the idea that everything is contingent on that rate adjustment. Adding another layer to this discussion, CLA highlights a recent article quoting an advisor to Iraq's prime minister, who confidently predicts a strengthening bond between Iraq and the United States. According to this advisor, Prime Minister al-Sudani is preparing to introduce a financial initiative that could redefine Iraq's economic environment while simultaneously reinforcing U.S.-Iraqi relations. This suggests that Iraq is on the verge of implementing significant financial reforms, and the United States is deeply involved in the process. Meanwhile, Walking Stick contributes some compelling insights, focusing on former U.S. President Trump's stance regarding the global financial landscape. He underscores that Trump is determined to ensure the U.S. dollar remains the dominant reserve currency. Walking Stick further explains that the extensive U.S. military presence in Iraq is not coincidental but rather serves a strategic purpose to safeguard the economic reforms set to unfold and to protect the stability of Iraq's financial system. Moreover, he asserts that Trump is prepared to facilitate new oil drilling projects in Iraq. But there's a catch: Trump aims to secure an improved exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar as part of the deal, thereby ensuring the U.S. benefits from Iraq's immense oil wealth. This situation is essentially an all-or-nothing scenario, and at this moment, it seems like the U.S. is holding the upper hand. Another major development comes from Militiaman, who points out that after more than 2 decades, Article 140 is finally nearing full implementation. This is a crucial milestone, as it signifies Iraq's readiness to enhance the purchasing power of its citizens. Once Article 140 is fully enacted, oil production will ramp up, electricity supply will stabilize, and the country's financial infrastructure will experience significant improvements. According to Militiaman, this is far from a random occurrence. There's a clear connection between these developments and the impending flow of wealth into Iraq. Meanwhile, Frank 26 continues to emphasize the urgency of Iraq's parliament taking decisive action. The key focus right now is on passing Amendment 122C, which is essential for unlocking the country's budget and unveiling critical financial policies. This amendment is a crucial piece of the puzzle, as its approval would facilitate the next stage of Iraq's economic transformation. However, Frank also warns that much of this hinges on the cooperation of Middle Eastern banks, many of which are currently on high alert. These financial institutions recognize that this is a pivotal moment, and any move by Iraq could trigger a widespread impact across the banking sector. Reports suggest that the U.S. Treasury is actively monitoring this situation, with officials engaging in discussions across various regions, further indicating that something significant is brewing. In addition to all this, an article cited by Samson makes a bold assertion: Iraq is on the verge of experiencing an economic resurgence. It appears that all the necessary groundwork is being laid for Iraq to solidify its position on the global financial stage with a newfound strength. Experts believe that the upcoming changes could be transformative, shaping the country's economic trajectory for years to come. MarkZ from PDK weighs in with another interesting perspective, drawing attention to recent developments in both the US and Iraq. He notes that the current U.S. administration is grappling with financial difficulties, as the previous administration reportedly exhausted 30% of the national budget within just 19 days. Despite these economic concerns, an unusual trend is emerging. The U.S. Treasury is prioritizing Iraq. MarkZ urges us to consider why Iraq, a country often dismissed due to its seemingly weak currency, has suddenly become a focal point for U.S. financial strategists. His analysis suggests that Iraq's monetary future is intricately tied to the U.S. dollar and the broader global financial system. The timing of this engagement is critical, serving as a strong indication that a major shift is on the horizon. Another game-changing revelation comes from Sandy Ingram, who reports on a groundbreaking discovery made by the Iraqi Midland Oil Company. It has been confirmed that newly found oil reserves in East Baghdad contain an estimated 2 billion barrels of crude oil. This discovery is monumental for Iraq's economic future, reinforcing the nation's already substantial energy resources. Furthermore, historical surveys conducted by the U.S. government suggest that Iraq still possesses vast untapped oil reserves, meaning the country's wealth potential is far from being fully realized. With Iraq sitting atop an ocean of petroleum, these findings could dramatically alter the nation's financial trajectory. Meanwhile, CLA shares another noteworthy article discussing the Iraqi government's stance on the dinar's value. While certain economists speculate that the dinar could weaken against the U.S. dollar, Iraqi officials have firmly denied such claims. The government has explicitly stated that it has no plans to devalue the currency at this time and remains committed to strengthening the dinar's exchange rate. Any adjustments in the near future, they argue, could result in unintended negative consequences. For now, the government's priority is to maintain stability, making this a crucial development for those closely following Iraq's monetary reform efforts. Circling back to Frank 26, he has been closely monitoring banking institutions and their behavior over the past few months. Interestingly, in November, banks were openly dismissing the entire concept of an exchange rate change, labeling it a scam. However, by December, their rhetoric began to shift, and they adopted a more neutral stance. By January, an even more striking trend emerged. Banks had gone completely silent on the issue. Frank finds this shift particularly telling, as it suggests that something is about to unfold. This sudden quietness among banks could imply that they are either waiting for an official announcement or that they are privy to inside information about impending changes. Regardless of the reason, this silence is a strong indicator that a major financial development is on the horizon. So, there you have it, a comprehensive breakdown of the latest updates shaping Iraq's financial outlook. It's clear that we're at a turning point, with everything from BP's potential oil agreement to increased U.S. Treasury involvement and massive new oil discoveries pointing toward a fundamental shift. The big question now is whether Iraq's government will take the necessary steps to position the country as a key financial player on the global stage. Only time will reveal the full picture. But one thing is certain, these developments are worth paying close attention to. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, so be sure to share your comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that button so you don't miss any of the latest updates. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll see you in the next video.